The BOJ maintaining its 10-year GGB yield target at about 0%. BOJ maintaining its policy balance rate at minus 0.1%, and it's adjusting its yield curve control. We're taking a look at reaction from dollar yen taking off, currently up about 0.5% at 149.84. The yen again extending its decline versus the dollar after the BOJ decision. Let's bring in Bloomberg's Annabelle Droulers. Belle, some takeaways from that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big one that we've seen, yes, the policy settings stayed unchanged, but what we need to see, or what we have seen, is that they've adjusted the yield curve control, and this is what we've really been discussing over the course of this morning. Would the BOJ expand that upper limit for long-term yields? And that's now at 1%. As the reference. So this is what we had seen reported through in local media from the Nikkei here, but coming in with that change that had been expected. The BOJ keeping policy settings unchanged, but allowing greater flexibility into trading for JGBs. What we've also got coming out of this is the details of its bond purchase program. So the Bank of Japan, it's actually released its bond purchase schedule earlier than had been expected. They are saying that they're going to make each maturity, or their response will be nimble for each maturity rather, and that they're going to be perhaps increasing the amount of JGB purchases. Remember, the reason why they considered changing this upper limit for long-term yields to 1% as the reference, it's about giving them greater flexibility, because the BOJ has been forced to step into the market multiple times to increase its bond buying, given that we've seen those higher treasury yields, and that's continued to keep tugging JGB yields upwards. So this is really the market response, or the response to market moves, that's coming through from the Bank of Japan. What else we're expecting out of this? What we did get out of this is also the inflation forecast, and so we've seen that coming through. They are raising that for the full year 2024, and core CPI, that is likely to be at 2.8%. That's significant, because the previous forecast was for 1.9%. That is a near 1% revision upward that is coming through from the Bank of Japan. What does that tell you? In aggregate, this is really about understanding, is the BOJ sticking with its easy policy settings the appropriate response for the market? And given the fundamentals in the Japanese economy, they're waiting until inflation becomes sustained, but yet again, it's above that 2% target that is set by the Bank of Japan. So quite a significant decision that's just come through. It was a lot longer than, took a lot longer to come out into the market than it would typically, as we said, around that 12:06 p.m. That's the norm for it. So a big change coming through just in the last couple of minutes has.